Hi, we are Inter-Connective Awareness Meditation, IM for short. Last week we spoke about the mind and moving the mind from, or the influence of the mind through meditation. We've been really confused about who we are, so we believe we are our mind. Our mind is there, it houses the ego, it's there to protect us. So it will stop us from doing certain things, it will injure us. It's always assessing the future. Will things get better? Hope and fear as well. It mainly fears the future, but it's always looking for the future. And also the past, so it's living in regret. Very rarely are we actually in the moment. And when we are in the moment, the mind isn't there. So if you really listen to somebody, can intently listen, without thinking, what can I say next? I'm going to say this as soon as I get a chance. Then you'll find that there's no mind there. And that's the true you. That's the state of I am. Because you are open then, you're listening. We've been confused by our educational system and a philosophy system, because there's a philosophy saying, many years ago that came out saying, I think therefore I am, when Nietzsche tried to work out if he was actually really here, or was it just one big dream state? So because he thought, he said, I think, therefore I am. The truth is, I am, therefore I think. I am comes before thinking. If the statement, I think, therefore I am, is correct, when you don't think, or you're in a state of no mind, you must cease to exist then. If thinking is proof of being. So no thought, if you're still existing through no thought, existence doesn't rely on thought. Thought relies on existence. So we listen to the mind intently, and we take everything it says on board because we think that's us. We've never been shown anything else, and been told that we're anything else. And the Western world doesn't focus on that. It focuses on the commercial activity and the way it's the manufactured society. And everything's manufactured. So it just means that society is manufactured in such a way that we're given stuff that we then demand, and we have to use our abilities to supply that demand. And that requires a mind, you know. But as I said, the mind is there to protect, analyze, etc., etc. But anything that protects you and you follow intently without any deviation from it, can also become your entrapment, that thing that enslaves you. So your protector could be the very thing that enslaves you, and that's what's happened to our mind. It enslaves us, basically. We are far greater than that. But because we think we're that little thing, we focus on that little thing, and we listen to it intently, and our diseases come from that. You know, disease is ill at ease. We are ill at ease with ourselves. Most of us are, because we're listening to that mind, that constant fear and regret, and disease in the mind. You know, depression, stress, or anxiety. All these things that our mind keeps telling us, watch out, don't do this, you can't do that. They're doing this, they're doing that. You know, the mind scares us into submission. So the way to do this, the meditation, I'm new to this, so it's very difficult to me. I'm not very good at all this, you know, so bear with me, please. You know, I'll get better as time goes on, hopefully. Yeah, so we listen to the mind, and the mind scares us into behaving a certain way. The East had known for thousands of years that we were not just our mind, and the mind was actually a tool, you know, no different to a jacket. I have a jacket, I have a hand, which is my tool, and my mind is also my tool. But we think we are the mind, so the mind rules us. Meditation is a way of observing the mind, not being influenced by it, going into a state of I am before I am thinking, and then you start to discover who and what you really are. You start to discover your connection to everything. That everything is in a state of I am. That is as close to consciousness. The purest thing is in the state of I am. You know, human beings that have probably the furthest away from it, because we are not in a state of I am. We're in a state of doing. You know, we're always buzzing around. None of us are centered, you know, and not thinking and just existing, as birds do, as trees do, as rocks, as the earth. It just exists, and it conforms to creation, to the plan of creation, and we don't. You know, we're the polluters, we're the problem, and most of our problems start and perpetuated through the mind, because, you know, our ego's in there, and I want to be I, me, I, me, my, I'm going to, you know. So we need to come away from this if we possibly can. So that's it. Basically, it's the state of I am. And that's what the mind is. It is a control mechanism that was there designed to protect us, and we've lost our way. We've lost the use of it, and it has gained the use of us. It controls us and it runs our lives, you know. And we're far greater than that, you know. I would like to go on to a meditation that I want to share with you that I experienced, which was pretty mind blowing, really. I've always been angry at God, this thing called God. What had the right to create me? And I've had this since I was a little lad. No one had the right to create me. No thing had the right to create me and put me into the world and make me go through what I've gone through. And we can all say the same. If you look at your life, your situation, you would say, who had the right to create you and shove you into this world to go through what you've gone through? Even what we would consider that someone who has everything would tell you how hard they've had their life. You know, it's individuals, how we see it. And I just don't think no one has the right to do that. No one has the right to create me. There is no right. You know, you say, I meet God, and if you meet God, what would you say? I say, who are you? Who do you think you are? Do you know what I mean? You have the right to create me and put me into this and put these things in the world that hurt us and the situations we go through. No one has a right to do that. You know. Anyway, so I've had that for a long time, and I was meditating, and this question's been bouncing around. But in meditation, there's no mind, like I say, and sometimes you'll get through like an audio conversation where you'll talk and you'll get like an answer back. You can analyse it with the mind afterwards, and I'm verbalising it, but it doesn't come through like this. It's quite different. But the only way I can put it forward is because that's the only tools I have, is the mind to analyse afterwards, and the voice to give it to you. So this is the only way that I can give it to you. It's just like sometimes you get like a thing you can describe as audible. Sometimes you get a thing you can describe like a video that's crushed right down, and you view the video, but you're able to understand every single bit of it, but it flashes past so quickly. Because in meditation you lose track of time. So you've got to set yourself a little alarm so you know how long it's been going for. But you lose track of time. So anyway, I had this meditation, and all of a sudden there was a tree, and the tree represented, you know what it is, but without any words, you just know what it is. The tree represented the whole of creation. And so I saw this big tree, and like, yes, I understand this is creation. The whole of creation, there's nothing else except this thing. And all of a sudden it said, the thing asked, like you get asked a question, what part of this tree is not the tree? I said, well, it all is, you know, obviously it's all the tree. Or it's all creation, whichever way you look at it. And then a leaf grew from the tree, and it said, what part of this leaf is not this tree? Bear with me. So, okay, yeah, of course it's all the tree. It's come from the tree, it's all the tree. And then a seed came onto the back of the leaf and rolled down to the end of the leaf, and it said, what part of this seed is not this tree? Well, yeah, okay, again, yeah, it's all the tree. Or it's all creation, that's all part of creation. The seed fell, landed on the floor, took root. What part is not the tree? Well, it all is. Same question, same answer. Thing took shoot, little shoot came up, same question, same answer. Birds flying around, what part of the birds is not? Okay, same question, same answer. It's all part of creation. And then the thing that knocked me down was, what part of you is not me? And I was floored by that. It knocked me sideways, you know. It makes me a bit emotional to think about it, really. What part of you is not me? What part of you is not creation? That's what I all am. The whole of me is creation. So what part of you is not part of me? Well, I'm all you. I'm all you, and you are all me. Yeah. What part of creation is not you? Well, it's all me. What part of me is not creation? Well, I'm all creation. And it makes sense that there's no separation. We're all one. Everything comes from the same thing. We see it as like the Big Bang describes it. Bang, and everything fragments is what we anticipate, and we are a fragment of that. So we fragment off, and we're now on our own in this universe, trying to make our way. The ego jumps in. Yes, you're alone. You've got to make it. You've got to beat your neighbour, beat this, push that. You. It's about me, my. Look after yours and your own. And ignore everybody else. And some of the things we do to people, you know, and allow people to suffer. And in a lot of cases, make them suffer, you know, because me, I, we're a fragment of, but we're not, you know. What happens is there was an explosion, there may have been an explosion, and it's like a piece of bubble gum. We stretched from the original creative force. We never separated, we stretched, and we still stretch, we're still connected, but we're just an extension of that. We're like a tentacle, and as a snail's tentacles come out and feel around, we're doing that. It's a journey of self-discovery. We're all on a journey of self-discovery. And that's obvious, you know. Anyone who actually looks at themselves without just jumping on the treadmill blindly and doing as they're told, you know, get up, work, home, sex, eat, sleep, procreate, bring up kids to do the same. Bang, 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 bang. Really, you know. Come on. Come on. We know we're far better than that. Far more important than that. So yeah, it's... We're a stretch, we're a piece from it. So anyway, come out of meditation, and I was, like I say, absolutely floored by that, you know, because it was so powerful, and you feel it deep within yourself. So deep, you can't argue with it, it knocks you sideways. There's a knowing, sometimes you get a knowing, and it must be the same as when you look across the room and you see the woman, I'm going to marry that woman, bang, you know, bang, it's a knowing, you know, you can't deny that. So anyway, I come out of meditation and I went downstairs and I thought, I need to research this because I want to see if there's any scientific evidence for this esoteric understanding or prompting, if that's the word. So I went downstairs and I started looking, and I come across a guy that discovered that split the atom, and he tore it apart, and as he started turning the atom one way, and its partner started turning the opposite way. Whatever he turned one, the other turned opposite. And he didn't notice this, one of his colleagues noticed this. So he said, look, wow, how are you turning that? I'm not doing that, I'm turning this one. So they realised, so they put it to and watched two turn exactly opposite. So they realised that there was some communication going between them. They thought they were talking to each other. I'm left, so you've got to turn right. So they said, this might threaten Einstein's theory of relativity, because it's relativity, which is the speed, nothing can go faster than the speed of light. Because this thing was turning instantly. It seemed to be no gap, no measure of gap between them. You know, one would turn one, the one turned exactly the same time. So they moved it down the other end of the laboratory so that they were far enough apart that if they moved exactly the same time, it meant that the signal was going quicker than the speed of light, which means Einstein's theory of relativity is null and void. We can travel faster than the speed of light, therefore that opens the ability for time travel, which is pretty mind-blowing. So you can imagine how excited they were. So they got stuck into this experiment, pulled them apart, turned one, and the other turned exactly opposite, faster than the speed of light. So the signal, if it was a communication, it was happening faster than the speed of light. Bang, you know, like eureka. Einstein argued with this, said it was impossible, refused to accept it. But then one of them came up with a theory, and it's all theory, everything's theory. Our life's a theory. Mine certainly is a theory. You know, it's a theory of who you are and what you are. There's no reality to it. So anyway, they said, well, wait a minute, if they're not talking, then maybe they're just not separated. Once you pull them apart, there's almost a rubber band, a figure eight between them almost. So when you turn one, the community, you're turning the other. You are actually turning the other by turning one. You're turning both. So there's no separation. And they call it, if you want to research it, string theory. So this theory that things are connected is not new. You know, it's not new, but I'm not a scientist. I had to research, I had to find that out, and bang, it's fact. If there's a thing called string theory, and everything is connected, then there should be a theory, as another theory called superstring theory, where everything's connected. And the Buddhists and all that have been telling us this, the adepts, for thousands of years, and we've not been listening to it. We still think that we're individual. So for me to have that in a meditative experience, never even considering this thing, and getting it so powerfully, so emotionally, you know, deep within yourself, and then researching it from a scientific aspect and finding them come up with the same thing, but on a smaller scale. They obviously haven't stretched it up, but everything comes from a single point, a point of singularity. You know, everything started somewhere, and as it come out, all we have to do is chase it right back. We don't have to understand it. We just have to say it's common sense that everything come originally from the very, very beginning, from the same place. And if that's the case, which just seems obvious, even to a mind that's not very sharp in comparison to the subconscious, and we can rely on the mind to work that out. You know, and the subconscious will tell us that as well. So it goes back. I am meditation, Inter-Connective Awareness Meditation, works on many levels. When we connect the chest strap, I've shown you this last week, I'll show you again. We've invented this little chest strap, which you put around the chest. It creates a really, really cool restriction that's easy to maintain focus on when you sort of, as you go deeper into meditation, your breath becomes very shallow, you know, and your awareness grows. But it does need something to fix on, because everything quietens right down. So for us, and I got that during meditation, yeah, believe it or not. But you can use a strap, you can use an elastic band, you can use a belt, anything, just to create a nice restriction around the chest. You link the breathing to the chest strap, sorry, the movement of the chest strap, which creates a lovely restriction, to the breath. Link that. Close your eyes, you look behind the eyes, relax your eyes, and then you start to look at the dark. You listen to that, and those four things connect, and the mind can't control, it cannot keep up. It's too many plates for it to spin. It shuts down. When it shuts down, then you feel who you truly are, the state of I am, which is basically the subconscious. You are reconnecting to creation. You're taking the thing that's stopping you, the mind, you're moving that out the way. It will still tick sometimes, and it will still try to run off, but as long as you keep that focus, you come to a state where you can actually observe the mind, and then you realise, that's not me. It's like somebody else talking to you. You can hear somebody else talking, and you look at them and you watch them talking. It's actually your mind ticking away. The chattering monkey's still pedaling away there, and you get to listen to it. So, wow, I thought that was me. My whole life I thought that was me. And I was told that was me. You know, it's mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. But anyway, mind-blowing there. So yeah, once you get that, you go into a state of I am. When you're in that state, you start to understand. Understand's the wrong word, because again, that's the mind. It's an intuitive thing, but you know, you get a deep sense of knowing of who you are and what you are. And this society we're in doesn't allow for that. Not for any other reason than it's a consumerist environment, and that needs the mind. You know, it needs analytical ability. It needs all that stuff to perpetuate this system that we actually demand. So it's down to us. It starts and finishes with us. You know, but I think the more the more we meditate and get into who and what we are, the more we reconnect to what we truly are, the less consumerism matters. You can start to see it as a veneer that starts to peel off, and you start to see deeper. And when you look in your brothers and sisters' eyes, which is what they are, they're your eyes, because we're all connected. You know, that lovely saying, I went in search of God and only found myself. I went in search of myself and only found God. So I know that guy knew what he was talking about. I knew he found it. You know, there's some things you'll hear. Yes, I know what he's talking about. You know, I know what she's talking about. You know, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a meditation session on here, and hopefully some of you like to join in. You know, maybe invite some friends and join in. If not, we'll leave it on here, and then you guys can you can watch it whenever you want, then, and maybe, you know, give me some feedback, because I say it's all new to me and it's a little bit awkward. You know, I looked at myself last week and thought, oh my God. You know, so it's very difficult, you know, because you try and do it yourself. It is difficult. So please bear with me, and hopefully I'll get better as time goes on. But I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a meditation session. Maybe give it a couple of days. I've got to teach a meditation session tonight, so maybe tomorrow. But anyway, any questions, please post them. You know, if you'd like to look at our page, Inter-Connective Awareness Meditation on Facebook, please do. If you can share it to some like-minded people, because I'd love as many people to discover who they are, you know, what they are. And I've got some amazing stuff that I'm playing with now. You know, let's just, again, it's our true essence, the true who we are. But until I've proved it to myself, till I've done an experiment on myself and found out it's true, I can't put it out there, because there's too many of us doing that. There's too many people teaching meditation and, you know, jingles and bells, and I mean, when I say jingle and bells, I mean, you know, we play to the mind. We need progression, so let's do gongs, or let's do, you know, colours, or let's do, and I understand that, you know, we've got 7 chakras, 7 colours of the chakras are the 7 colours of the rainbow. There's 7 visible planets, so the whole thing is connected. We're a reflection of all that, so I understand that. So people play with colours, of course, I get that. You want to do that, walk into the sun. You know, all the colours are out there. Walk out there, stand in the sun. You get all the colours. Do you know what I mean? Stand barefoot on the ground. You've got the electric, you've got your positive, you've got your negative. That's you know, and you become that battery. You put yourself into that circuit. That's, you know, you don't need to go and sit in a dark room, close your eyes in the dark and ding ding ding, hear some bells, someone turns on a purple colour. You know, that's playing with that stuff. You know, we need to get natural again. We need to go back. Stop, you know, running down the road looking for this, you know. It's not there. It's not there. Everything we need is within us. Everything we need is within us. We are a mirror of there. As above, so below. As out, in. You know, we are that we are the centre point of our universe, of the outside, the infinite out and the infinite in. We are that, but we're discovering the infinite out, but we're neglecting the infinite in. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, because I will just keep going, and you're probably busy. So thank you very much for viewing this, and please, like I say, I'd love you to share it to like-minded people, and have a lovely day. You know, you look after yourself. There's only one of you, we can't afford to lose you, so look after yourself. You take care.